Hello, my name is Paul Bagnall, and I'm a journalist and a screenwriter for the Frenzied Quill. And some of my one of the biggest challenges, both as a journalist and as a writer for the horror series. I would say that like a challenge for being a journalist, especially in this day and age, is finding stable employment and just um, making sure that you keep up with everything being thrown at you from a daily basis. Depending on what beat you have, can have a lot that's gets thrown at you, especially in the day to day. And then balancing that out with being a screenwriter. Usually I do that like on the weekends, pretty much, or like after work if it's like kind of a slow night or something like that, or a slow day, slow news day. Usually would work on it like a little bit, just to add to it or like, read it over, make sure it flows right. And just making sure that the arc within the series is very, just makes sense and, reads well. And then character dialogue and interactions are interesting. So there's a lot that goes into a screenplay. It can be very layered in a way, but also very rewarding once you um, are at the finish line, so to speak. But to answer the next question, any horror movies that you would have loved to write and why? For me, it would be uh, if I was like the writer on the Thing movie. I believe that's one's from like the 1980s, I believe. That would have been a nice one to have been a writer for, and why is because of the way he has like an open ending. John Carpenter usually has like some good like open ended like endings where it could go either way. You can let your audience imagination just like run wild with it, or have like speculation about like what actually happened, and that can lead to various watches of it, which I've watched that movie several times. And still gets better every time you do it, every time you watch it. So that's kind of like the what I want to do with like a TV series is something that like you have to have multiple watch throughs because it's like very layered and you might miss like some things that have happened like in the background that's not specifically said or anything like that. But yeah, if I was on John Carpenter's The Thing as a writer, that would have been a very interesting experience, especially since that was an adaptation of a novella called Who Goes There? And I actually went back and read the that novella. It's pretty good. Um, and very suspenseful. Didn't didn't quite end the same way. I won't really spoil it either way, but like the ending is basically what sticks with me for that movie in particular. And who is the journalist who inspired me to be a journalist? It's kind of a tricky question, I would say. It's not really any specific journalist that inspired me to be a journalist in particular. Um, yeah, I can't really think of any at the moment. So I kind of like got inspired to be a journalist, I would say. It wasn't any specific like reporter or anything like that, but it was like with coverage of the Iraq and Afghanistan war, bringing some like light and like nuance to that conversation, and also various like documentaries and whatnot. So um, I would say like there isn't like really a specific person that inspired me to be a journalist necessarily. Just something I just kind of chose and decided to do on my own time. Um, And if you were to become an actor and not a journalist, is there any lead roles you would have loved acted in and why? Um, let's see, actor. Um, yeah, if I went into acting, I'd say I would mostly go into like TV sort of acting. So one series in particular I would have liked to have acted in is Friday the 13th, the series. So that was unlike, like Friday the 13th, like the movie series. This is actually like a TV show that's like separate from it in a way, and it's about like a kind of like a curios slash like antique shop, and they like the people that run that place, they like collect um demonic and like objects, or like objects that are like, cursed by like the devil and whatnot, and they're supposed to like investigate and like try to like get those objects back, and each one does a different thing that's like really bad, and they have to like put a stop to it or something like that. That series in particular is really fun. I would have loved to have acted in that particular series, just because it has an investigative quality to the show that I would also like to bring to the Frenzied Quill, where they're investigating like phenomenon, like finding out why this thing is doing like what it's doing, or if this is even paranormal, if it's not paranormal. It just keeps you guessing, keeps you interest keeps being interesting and entertaining. So um that one in particular I would have loved to have acted in, specifically. Just the investigative aspect of that show, where they just have to like figure this thing out while this person is using this object for like ill intent, and or sometimes not ill intent, but like it gets like kind of twisted in a way. So um yeah, that's like a very good dynamic with that show. um Kind of like fizzled out at the end, unfortunately, but like with the series that we're planning to write with the Frenzy Quill, um, just have a much more like clear vision of like where it's going and like what's going to be happening in between it. So yeah, as far as being an actor, TV acting, and specifically, having a lead role in Friday the 13th, the series. Um, it's pretty fun series to watch, but um, that's the one I would definitely would have acted in. So if you are an actor, if you are an actor, name a horror movie you would have wanted to act in. Um, hmm, that's a really hard one too. There are so many horror movies to choose from. There's a lot to digest with that one. Let's see, if I was an actor and I wanted to act in a horror movie, which one would I want to act in? Um, One that comes to mind, I believe it's like House on Haunted Hill, not the remake version, but like the original like version with what's his name? What's the actor's name? Um, well, yeah, like the original version of that one. That's yeah, the actor's name is escaping me at the moment, but I would have liked to have acted in the original version of that. Of course, someone predates me, so that would have been an interesting one to have acted in, because it's pretty suspenseful. You don't really see much of the ghosts or anything like that. And I just remember the actor's name, Vincent Price. So that would have been a very fun one to have acted in. I probably would have been like the person who like got killed first or something like that. So or something, something to that end. So um, that would just like to that would just be like a very fun, like kind of like movie to have acted in. I'm sure that must have been a fun one to have participated in for sure. And then for the final question, Frenzy Kill is a supernatural horror show. Tell us what the show is about. So, in the lead up to all this, Frenzy Quill is about a um, online magazine journalist who investigates paranormal happenings through tips, like news tips, and like tips like readers send in for him to go investigate. Basically, paranormal happenings, not necessarily objects or anything like that, but paranormal happenings like around the world. Um, and I think like the main premise is like the show. I think like the magazine is like based in Sweden, but it's like an online one. So they do. Um, I'm not really sure if they have a print distribution, but I assume they would. Um, so the show's about Michael, who's the journalist who investigates the paranormal happenings. And the first season is showing how he's getting into it. It's a startup magazine, so they're like pretty much struggling with management, like running it, not really knowing what to do necessarily, is a bit out of their depth. Um, and it's just trying to make this like thing work, basically. So like the first season, the first arc of the season that's going to be going is like them trying to make the magazine work, trying to stay afloat. Um, so every like article like really counts in terms of like getting attention and whatnot. So the first season deals with a lot of just Michael getting used to the job, not exactly taking it seriously, I would say. It's just like something that he kind of like falls into in a way. And there's some things that are happening and have happened with his family's past, and he's like trying to cut ties with them and just not have anything to do with them. That'll be revealed later, at least in season one. Um, and some implications to be carried over into the next season. So yeah, it's pretty much like in like similar like investigative like horror like mystery shows that like um dial up the suspense and also has a lot of twists and turns to it. Um, and just an overarching plot that um, will pretty much have like a really, I think, a really great payoff like towards the end, which is usually like the hardest part to write after the end of a TV show. So there is that, but it's mostly about Michael and um, like his day to day, and his he actually gets helped out with the presence of the actual devil, who comes in the form of an auntie type figure, that's kind of was it familial, like in relation, kind of, because that's like what he's running away from, um, to like very limited success. Um, so, um, so it's pretty much him like trying to contend with that, contend with like the paranormal stuff, write about it, still meet the deadlines, and keep the online magazine afloat, and work with his colleagues who are also in the same desperate situation as he is in, and also try to make this thing work. So that's pretty much like the show in a nutshell. And it's something that we've been working on for at least the past 4 years, 4.5 years now. So still working on writing out the ending, or at least still tweaking it, and getting it out in front of anyone who's willing to give it a read. And also, if you want something that's like completely new, original, it's not based off anything. I know some TV shows they can like be based off like a book or something previously that has come before it. This is not based off anything that came before it. It's its own thing. It's pretty much a TV show made for TV, and not necessarily streaming, because with streaming, the only issues I have with streaming is that they seem to look at it in a way where it's just like, oh, you put on a show in the background, and then once you put the show on the background, you do like other stuff. That's a very alien, I would say, concept to me, because when I sit down to watch a movie or when I sit down to watch a TV show, it has my attention 100%. Whether it's good or bad, or I haven't seen it before, I'm there for it. I'm not gonna put it on the background or anything like that. It's not like throwaway TV or content like that. And when I make a TV show, I have that in mind. I want to hook you. I want to um entertain you with a good, mystery that has some twists and turns and surprises in it. At least I hope I hope I've written it good enough where it's keeps you guessing. Um, but yeah, it's just really fun to do that, and it's very I take it seriously in the vein that is going to be like well watched, well received. Keep your fingers crossed, hope for the best, basically. So, but yeah, when with this TV show in particular, um, it's something I want you to watch. It's something I want you to be entertained by, and hopefully you'll be talking about it for like a few weeks or a few months, a few years, who knows. Um, and yeah, just my little take on streaming is that there are good streaming shows. The ones that are necessarily put on the background, still an alien concept to me. So because like when I sit down and watch a TV show or a movie, I'm there for it. I got my dinner going, or I got wherever else I have with it, and I'm just there for the experience. And I hope to bring that to horror audiences who are looking for something new and original as well. So looking forward to where this goes, and we'll see how both myself, and Ellen, Margareta Norden can take this. So we're both very excited to bring you the Frenzied Quill, and this is all the experiences that have led up to us writing the script for it. So take care, and yeah, help to reveal a bit more what's coming next for the Frenzied Quill.